Three, two. Hello, everybody out there in the internet. Welcome to Aimless Babble Z, episode 276. I'm Tekken Master, joined by.
RPG Maniac 05.
And Trioptical.
So yeah, we've got so much been playing. Do we have any RR or metal segment stuff?
We totally didn't have a pre-show. Oh no,
No.
we're not prepared. We're not prepared.
All right, so no metal stuff unless it comes up, because that's totally happened before, so it might happen. You never know. And then the news and stuff, which we totally might not even have. So yeah.
Wow.
Which
Good job, team.
Which been playing? Let's just start with the Destiny because House of Wolves. Yeah, that was terrible. I know.
That was
I was
terrible.
saving
I
it up
was
for
glad
the
you said it
podcast
before.
because I was like, I know it's gonna be terrible.
Begins again.
If I howl like a wolf.
Don't ever do that again. Is my response to that howl.
So yeah, I enjoyed it. It was weird because, you don't get a lot of story missions, and you just get like a strike after the fact. But then I was like, you know what would be nice? If in one of the expansions, there's like, I wouldn't mind if there was no raid and you got like all story missions as far as like however there were, or like if the amount of story missions that you got was like either the amount that was in the base game or the amount that was in the game up until that point that the expansion came out. Because that to me is like my favorite. Well, I don't want to say it's my favorite part, but it is like one of my favorite parts is just like playing through and then having exposition and story, and you got to have some like really cool moments and stuff going down, and like I didn't expect it, and I was like, yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. Like I was hoping I would be if I had my expectations super low. So yeah.
Can we spoil the story? No.
Can we? Would you mind?
Is there anything to actually spoil? It's Destiny. What?
Well, the thing is,
Well-
like, it ends on another cliffhanger, so it's like I kind of see like the
Just
cycle of
spoil
it being like, new
Doesn't
story
matter.
missions, cliffhanger, play the next part, new story missions, cliffhanger, play the next part. But it was weird because it didn't feel like Crota or the Dark Below was like that, but then it was like mentioned in this story thingy, and then but then like at the end of it, it's like, oh, see you in Jupiter. It's like, oh man, I can't wait. Oh. Why tease me like that, Bungie? Why? Oh. And now the waiting starts.
So, like, the story for this one is sort of cool. It's like a fallen Kel, which is their leader. Just like he attacks the Vex to get their stuff. And actually, the story, what happens in the end?
He gets captured. Well, the thing is like we haven't played through the Prison of Elders on the highest difficulty, but I think you end up killing him anyway. So
Okay,
you
so you
capture
will
him,
kill
but
him
then
in
you
the
kill
end.
him, and then
See, like, I think what the story was that he takes the Vex like time
Yeah.
technology stuff, and he starts pulling in his house from all of the different time periods. So there's just like lots of them, I guess. I was sort of disappointed in the story when I heard that part because initially, when we were jumping across the platforming part, I started thinking, it's like, oh, I know what he's gonna do, because earlier in one of the missions, Varric says that the Fallen would have defeated the Guardians if the House of Wolves had been there at this like Battle of Twilight's Gap or something like that. And the reason they weren't there was because the Queen of the
Fallen or the
Wow.
Awoken.
what do they call? Awoken, yeah, like intervened and I guess enslaved them or whatever.
Rude.
And so when we were jumping across, I was thinking, oh, like this is his plan. Like he's gonna go back to that battle with the House of Wolves and then win that battle, and then the Fallen will have taken over the Guardians. But then that was not what the plan was. The plan was just to get lots of House of Wolves into the current and be like, haha, now there's lots of us. I was like, oh, that's not as neat as I thought it was gonna be.
Well, that's because they probably would. That would require like a lot of game changes, probably. If
Not really.
that was a thing. Because I
I
mean,
mean, if they wanted to do it in a lazy way, they could have just said, like, it could have just been narrated at that point. And because, like, the plan doesn't succeed, like, you go and capture him. So,
he is not very
you
good
know,
at that.
whatever the plan was, it doesn't matter. Like, they don't have to program anything else. They could have just wrote it into the story. It's like, oh, this is what he's doing. But they didn't. They were just like, yep, he's going for a power grab now.
Well, I mean, like if he would have actually enacted that plan, then that means he would have technically have already won because that's how
Well,
the
they would.
whole time loop thing would have worked, right? Or
I suppose
something.
if they had to do it, then they would have to do like it would be sort of movie style. So he sort of succeeds and he goes back and they're fighting, but then you follow him back and then you like
You stop
fight it
him.
out there and you stop it there.
But if that's the case, though, then if that was the case, then that means the House of Wolves weren't really all that, you know, great to begin with. If you're all just able to beat them anyway, it's like, well, then they weren't gonna make that much of a difference
Well,
in the war
again,
anyway.
it's like, oh man, the Fallen, the Darkness is all this huge threat, and yet
Kingdom
I'm
Hearts.
pretty sure we have slaughtered billions of them at this point.
I don't know. The Fallen really don't seem all that threatening. I mean,
The
they
Darkness doesn't
never
seem
have.
that threatening.
No, yeah, no, I don't know. But I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
time.
story wise, I was like, oh, it could have been this sort of cool, almost like Terminator esque type story, but it was just like, nope, we're just using it for reinforcements, just like the Vex.
Silly
Like,
tropical. Then that means they would have had to think, and we've already established that that's not something they want to do. So no, no. He just went to Zerg you guys, and apparently he still failed. So well,
um, actually, playing this, I was thinking that I think part of the problem with Destiny is that it doesn't really have a clearly defined goal. It
of course it is.
relies.
You have, is it the goal to like awaken that one giant ball thing? What's he called? Their god thing? That guy? He knows his
Oh,
name.
Traveler.
the
Him.
Traveler.
Him.
But, y- it's not clearly defined. Like the way that games sort of string you along and like suck you in is there's this huge goal and then there's sort of micro goals in between and then each of those, pulls you along the journey. But then Destiny has a lot of points where, like the core gameplay itself is really fun, so there's a little bit of pull there, but then beyond that, it relies heavily on sort of what Call of Duty did, where it's like there's not really a goal in Call of Duty, multiplayer anyway. It's just sort of it's up to you. Like, what do you want your goal to be? And Destiny is like that as well. So for some people, it's like, oh yeah, I really want to be level 34 or whatever, and that pulls them along. But then for other people, it's just I I don't know why I'm doing this. Like, then I get to 34, and then what? Like,
You wait for more story content,
yeah,
obviously.
it doesn't. It's not. I don't think it's as good a pull
I think I'm
as
close to
some
being at
other
that
stuff.
point where it's like I'm just gonna wait for new story content. 'Cause this is like to me after taking almost 2 months off. It's like, oh, this is the kind of how I prefer to play, is just waiting for the next story stuff, because
Mm,
the wait in between is just
play it like The Walking Dead.
yeah, like 'cause if you're just like waiting to like play it every week or every day to like hopefully get new loot or whatever, then it's just you're gonna be disappointed so many times that it's just gonna slowly break you down and do stuff to you like it did to me. It
Oh
didn't.
my.
It didn't break
Mm.
me though. Just
It
just
totally did. You
it,
you
it may
had
have changed
you've
me.
had moments
I
Tekken
was.
where
I was.
I was concerned.
The
Those were
weight
awesome.
pulled me down, but my bolts never came out.
I don't know. Some people might call that broken, Tekken. You should have heard some of your rants. You were pretty broken. You were pretty broken.
I feel just fine now, so I think it's fine.
I don't know. I don't know. But I mean, you guys are gonna feel real foolish when it turns out they planned all this, and then it's just like all gonna come together eventually in one of these expansions they put out, and they're like, "Haha, we got you guys." Because
What are you talking
yeah,
about?
I have no idea. I'm just
See,
trying to give Bungie more credit than they probably deserve.
if that happens, like that would be really cool. And so people who like, I think if you're not playing at the cutting edge and cracking out on Destiny, the game continues to be pretty fun. But if you're sort of cracking out and you have that goal to get 34, it is super, or before whatever the max level is at the time, it's really frustrating because it is really dependent on luck. Like even now,
Not really. The new way
A little
to
bit.
get to 34 is like super easy because I'm already there. So,
Yeah, but
they
but
fixed
don't you
that.
need like a certain like item just to do the ascension though? So it would still be
yeah,
dependent on your luck.
I think you get
Regardless.
it
You just have
automatically though. But I'm
key.
not sure because well, no, I was playing with the gamer and he got one, so I think it is not as I don't know. I
That
think it's
that
like I
doesn't
think the
mean any.
drop rate is either higher or it's not as bad, but it's not as bad
yeah. I mean, it's sort of
as
like
it
the Crota
was.
raid, right? Like Crota, I think we only played the raid a few times, and then everyone had all the equipment they needed to get to the max level.
Yeah.
But it was still dependent on how does the system feel today. You know,
Yeah.
is it gonna give it to me or not? So like, when Gamer and you played the 34 yesterday,
Yeah.
you guys got Etheric Light.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, like there's a a lot fewer steps to get to 34 than it was to get to 32.
I also like the Ascension system that they implemented because I have so much old gear that I've just been saving. So I'm like,
Yep.
dude, it's awesome. Or stats wise, it's awesome. But I mean, yeah, it only does 300 damage. But if I could somehow upgrade it, and now I can, it's like yes, ah, it was worth it. It was totally worth it. It was like yes,
Was it though?
this
Was it?
expansion it renewed my faith in the
So I
game.
guess that's going to be a test then. Like,
It brought me
how
back.
frustrating is it going to be to get all of those ascended?
Not really tropical. It's just a matter of time because essentially unless it's exotic, you can just get the shards from Zur. But if it's not an exotic, it's just you have to keep going through the Prison of Elders every week and then getting Etheric Light, and then once you have enough light, you can ascend all the stuff you need. But like for me, it's like I'm just focusing on one person at a time. So my Warlock's my
Mm.
main dude. So it's like I already did all my exotics today. So it's like okay, exotics are done, and I still have like shards left over. So I'm like yes, I'm good. In case I need them again or can trade them for something. And now it's just a matter of and then the light. Of course, I put it into the armor, so I get a 34. So it's like I'm out of etheric light, but I'll do the armor first, so that way I can do the Trials of Osiris, and then also like when Iron Banner rolls around, if there's like some awesome reward, maybe. But
Mm.
I mean, weapons have never been an issue with me. So
Hmm.
and like since you can ascend exotics so easily, it's like well at least I have like one exotic per character. That's 365. So
Yeah,
and
that
then
is really nice,
my
actually.
legendaries will eventually get there too. And then it's nice you can reforge stuff. So it's like I have stuff that's like good, but like if I had better perks in it, it's like ooh, it would be even better. So it's like I can reforge it and then ascend it. So it's like yeah, because I didn't notice until this morning that like once you reforge something, it resets it all the way.
Yeah, it does.
So I'm like, oh, I better make sure I have it like at its peak optimal awesomeness before I reforge it and ascend it. I mean, before I ascend it, because to
Mm,
like reset
right.
all the way is like it's basically a better version of the previous system. Let me go to Zern and get this weapon upgraded and then re-level it. Ugh, that was the worst. Now it's just a matter of ascending it, and you'd have to like really re-level it again. It keeps the upgrades and everything, so that's much
Yep.
better. It's like why wasn't this here before? Ah, why?
Yeah, I think the expansion really has improved it a lot. But I don't know how long this one is going to keep my interests.
But
We'll see.
Tropical, there's so much more new armor for you to be like, ooh, what do I want to look like, and how do
See,
I?
that's the thing. Like, I really want all the armor. So for like, my goal is like to get a set from every faction and just have like all these full sets of armor that are totally ascended. It's like, oh, this is gonna take forever.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. I was like, well, I have like from the old Queen's bounty, I still have like the head and chest pieces for all my characters. So it's like I just need the legs and arms, and I have full
Mm,
Queen's bounty gear. Yay! But then I have to
yeah,
send
that'd
the
be
old
awesome.
stuff. So, ooh. And then I can get the new current Vanguard stuff, and then have it be like awesome intellect and discipline, and then just keep that forever and just keep ascending it. Since I don't play Crucible, and I'm not about to be like, oh, well, faction gear. Nope, not happening.
Oh,
Unless I get it from a Nightfall. Slowly over time.
yes. Oh, I misspoke. Like, I think I'm pretty sucked in because yeah, my goal for all the armor. Other people I've been playing with though, they were starting to get bored of it, and we're like, well, House of Wolves comes out tomorrow. And then after playing House of Wolves, like, I don't know if this is going to be enough for these people. But we'll see.
Did they play Prison of Elders yet?
No,
I thought that was fun.
we're not going to play till Thursday. But yeah, Prison of Elders is I think cooler than it seemed in the reveal. Like I like how it's so this is just a guess. It seems to me that Prison of Elders is designed around now that there are multiple viable builds of armor and stuff. So, potentially you can go into each room in the Prison of Elders with the like optimal types of equipment. So like different weapons of different elemental damage, different gear that I don't know, activates your super more quickly and things like that. And like when I was playing, I kept switching stuff as we were going into different rounds.
Yeah, like to me, it's like you totally need the raid weapons of like primary elementals. If you don't have that, you might be effed. Well, I mean, well, depending on the difficulty like level. It's like the 28 you're fine, but like 32 and 34, no way.
So were there more bosses in 32? Or sorry, 34?
Yeah, there was. Oh wait, I don't think there was. I think there's only one actually.
Oh, okay.
There's either one or two.
32.
I can't remember, dude. It was like it was such a blur. It's just because it's so weird because I went through it with one group. We got stuck with the we had Arcburn Hive. We were stuck on that for like 40 minutes, and then I played it with Gamer, and we just since I already cleared it with that group, I knew the strategy, so I was like, okay, dudes, let's do this because this worked for us. And then we got to the next final boss where you can't touch the floor, which is stupid. I'm not even going to talk about it. I was like, what, Bungie, go F yourselves.
You can't touch the
floor.
Do you die?
Is the floor hot lava?
I have video of it. Essentially, the dude summons his rage or something, and then his rage burns the floor, and so it's like a 10-second of you have to somehow manage that situation. And then I figured out if you're a Titan, you can pop your bubble
just by touching the floor.
Yeah, you take damage if you're on the floor. So basically, if you're a Titan and you pop your bubble and has Armor of Light in it, you'll get your overshield, but it'll be eaten away slowly over time. So if you just jump, you're good, every couple seconds, or just hover. And then with the Warlocks, you can use Angel of Light to essentially just double jump, aim, until you come back to the ground, and then do it again. And that should last for you should only have to do that once or twice, and you're good. I haven't done it with a hunter yet. I'm thinking triple jump should be super effective, hopefully.
Wow.
Blink? I don't think so. Blink
is Blade Dance, not Blink.
Oh,
Blade Dance.
but then it has Solar Burn on that round, so if you use Blade Dance, that's taking away your super to do damage on them.
Well, it's keeping you alive, so
is it all
I can't do damage if you're dead.
Actually, it's funny
because
stand
on platforms.
Yeah, even if you stand on platforms and stuff, it's you can't be standing on anything. It's weird. Cause there's a little thingy. I was like, oh, maybe if I stand on this because it's above the ground, I won't take damage, and it didn't work. So
the floor is hot lava, guys. All of the floor, all of it.
So I have one more character to do it with. I will see if there's any brave souls that would like to travel through it again. It's not so bad. It's because with the Arcburn on Hive, it's you're kind of used to it from so many Nightfalls, and then if you have Galahorn, you're good. But man, yeah. But then we figured out the strategy on the third or the final dude, just because the first time I went in, we had the strategy, but we got it done super fast and easily. But then with me and Gamer and Ban, it's we were for whatever reason we were having trouble, and then we switched our strategy because we're okay, well someone someone that wasn't me was suggested let's try something different, and then we did that for a long time and it didn't work, and then we went back to the original strategy and it worked. So yeah, just stick to the plan. Just stick to the plan. And it's funny because I didn't even get anything awesome, so it's whatever. So yeah,
that's cool.
I was I got an effing rocket launcher, so you know how I felt about that. So yeah,
you love rocket launchers.
It's oh look, Tekken, it's one of your most favorite weapons in the game, rocket launcher.
Well, at least it wasn't a shotgun.
Shotguns are awesome now, though.
Well, Tekken doesn't like them though, so it wouldn't matter.
No. There's a round, or there's more modifiers to the game now. So even this week's Nightfall has Guardians get bonus melee damage, and it is super powerful.
So it's reverse light switch now?
Yeah, like I jumped up and
Damn time.
kneed an ogre and then punched it and it died. It was like, whoa, it was a yellow hell ogre with like 60-70% of its health.
That is
Two melee
that is
attacks
one of the
and
things
it died.
that's one of the things I love about Prison of Elders is like when you get the turn the tables on the enemies and
Yeah.
you get buffed. It's like, yeah, my turn now.
So cool.
It's like,
The one that Gamer liked was when we were first playing, it was damage favors special weapons. And so he just like pulled out the shotgun and was running around. It's super powerful. And then like there's a weapon that everyone gets for going through the story mission called something Dynasty. The sidearm.
the Vestian dynasty.
Yeah.
I love that gun.
I keep thinking it's called Destiny. It's just like name drop.
But no.
Yeah, that gun is really fun. It's the only special weapon that has sort of is like rapid fire. It's what did you say? It's basically the Halo pistol.
Yeah, it totally is.
It reminds me of the rebooted Star Trek like phasers because it has sort of punch, but it's like an energy weapon. It's kind of cool, and yeah, that gets super powerful when you get buffed with that because it shoots really fast.
Well, I mean, Pocket Infinity had a like semi rapid fire thing too.
I guess I haven't used that one before. Yeah, this one is like it fires as fast as you can push the trigger.
Like the mythical class.
Yes. Except it's a special weapon. And you get like I think one of its properties or on mine it's it always starts with ammunition.
Yeah, that's one that's on it.
Okay, so that's just a regular one. But it goes really fast. It's like I think you always start with like 100 some shots, 120 some shots. And yeah, before I know it, it's almost always gone. It's like, I think I'm shooting too much.
It's also weird because you can't reforge that weapon. It's one of the ones that you can't reforge. So
Oh, really?
So I didn't know you couldn't reforge exotics. I was like, oh, you can't reforge these. So I was like, whatever.
Well, I mean, you probably because just in case you might accidentally like get rid of like its actual special ability or something. Like if you try to report something like Gallahorn and you lost,
It
the
doesn't
wolf
have
pack
wolf
round or
pack
something,
anymore.
you're just like
So what am I going to use this for?
It's like it's basically the truth now, except the solar version.
And
So-
slower.
So it's like you might. It's probably better that you don't, because the exotics have the abilities. So it's like you reforge it, you might screw yourself over without wanting to.
But yeah, also
it's very
all the tower gear is completely visually different from previous tower gear. So like they
Yep.
did up their game on the customization options.
Everything looks nicer, I think.
Yep.
Future War, Future War Cult is the only one I paid attention to. But yeah, all of the guns have different models now. So before they said they were just reskins of existing guns. Now they actually have different geometry.
And I did appreciate that because there's this one scout rifle that had this little like canister thingy on it. I was like, what is up with that? And then I kind of wanted to get it, but I was like, I have enough scout rifles right now. So,
Oh man, I'm gonna need a bigger vault.
Yeah, I'm having that issue too. Need a bigger vault.
Didn't they just give you guys a bigger vault?
Well, before that.
And now it's not enough anymore.
Ah,
Once again.
that did not take long.
Or I could just, just dismantle a bunch of the weapons, but then it's like,
Yeah,
it was all for nothing.
I know. I'm like, I want to hoard all the stuff now because it's just like now they all can be awesome and
Well,
just
just
slightly
the ones
different from
you-
each other.
Really want them to get rid of the other ones because you can't
No.
use them all. So it's like,
Give me a weapon pile.
Yeah, I had to kill off a bunch of legendaries a long, long time ago, and then today when I found out about the ascending thing, I was like, yes, it was worth it to save the ones that were worth saving.
Yoo-hoo!
But if only I had my shower price. Oh well.
Gamer got his Hawk Moon finally.
Did he really?
Yeah, he was like, yes. He got out the
I
chest.
got like
deck.
6 of them.
Yeah, I sharded 2 to get shards to ascend my stuff. So I still have 3 more Hawk Moons. I got Monte Carlo finally, which was really cool because I
Actually,
was watching Zaffro play last time because I died very early in the vault. I was like, oh, what's that gun he's using? And I was like, oh, that's Monte Carlo. That's weird. And I
Mm.
got it. It was
What is,
awesome.
what is Monte Carlo? Is it a like scout
It's
rifle?
a assault rifle.
Oh,
Yeah, which I don't even really use, but the gun looks neat.
that's what matters.
Mine is all about vanity. I think, well, it was crazy. I was waiting for all you guys. So Tekken was in Prison of Elders, and the other 3 raid people were in trying to get through the story missions. So I played 1 round of Control, primarily to see, because they said like the drops will be better in Crucible now. So I was like, okay, well, let's see if it's better. And you're supposed to get stuff for playing the daily one. So I played 1 round of Control, which was the daily, and it was insane. Like either people who play regular Control suck way more than the people who play Iron Banner, um, or yeah, or maybe like actually, yeah, I have no idea. It was crazy. I just in the beginning parts, so we captured A, they captured C, and some people ran for B, and I just walked towards C, and there was like 3 or 4 guys who just kept spawning there coming towards me, and I just killed them every single time with headshots, and it was just like, what is going on? Like,
actually,
I
one
was never this awesome.
someone told me yesterday that they nerfed auto rifles again, so I'm not sure if that
Oh,
might have to do
really?
with it.
Dun dun dun.
It was ridiculous. By the end of like that first exchange, where finally we had all the points had been captured by people, I had something like 2,500 points. I was like, we haven't even played for like a minute and a half yet.
Tisk tisk tisk. Vision of confluence
Oh,
for the win, guys.
it
Vision of
was
confluence for
crazy.
the
No, I
win.
was using the one that makes people explode because the effect is funny. um, oh, I guess the other thing in Iron Banner, it takes me a lot more shots to kill people, and I think it's because like my armor tends to be fine, but I've never really focused on weapons. So the weapon that I use most often, max damage is only 300, and everyone was using Thorn, so the
Oh
odds were
no.
against me.
Cannons
But
are
yeah,
too
in
powerful.
regular, it was like, oh, 3 guys ran up on me, and I just killed all of them, and they didn't really hurt me. It was like, are people playing regular just this bad?
Well, I mean, you don't have the level advantages anymore, though. So
Yeah. Anyway, confidence boost. So when Trials comes around, it's like, yeah, let's do it.
Ugh, I'm not looking forward to that.
It sounds intense.
It
Reminds me of
does.
SOCOM.
so calm.
SOCOM, but only 3-on-3. And you can revive.
Definitely gonna. I'm trying to think if I want to actually roll with my hunter the first time through, just because they're so broken. Just be like, you know what? There's an advantage here. Let's do it, hunter. You're an awoken. You're in with the queen. She might give you some sort of like behind the scenes magic.
I mean, hunters aren't as broken as you would think if you actually know how to deal with them. So you might not
Mhm.
be able to depend on that if whoever you're going up against is smart enough to be able to fight back. Because I've killed many a blade dancers when they thought they had the upper hand. It's like, haha, joke's on you. I can kill you. So it's probably not gonna. Or I mean, I've even like fought off people using a golden gun at point blank range. So it's like they
Yeah.
aren't they aren't as
I've had
great
that
as you would
happen.
People,
think.
I think, yeah, too many people, I think, play it like Call of Duty and they're not really aiming. It's like, well, if you don't aim in Destiny, you're not going to get enough shots in, and then you will die first.
Isn't the Trials of Osiris just like Iron Banner, where it's like your weapons and armor matter?
Yep. So it's going to matter. So I have to get at least, well, I can get to 33. uh, at least I need to get one of my weapons. So probably multi-tool. I'm going to try to get that up to 365, I think. And then I'll be set. Sidearm, 365 multi-tool, and I don't know, Thunderlord maybe?
Thunderlord. It's okay. You might be able to carry your team
See,
anyway.
I'm wondering if the rounds will last long enough for heavy ammo to even spawn.
Do you think they're that bad?
I think it's not in the individual rounds. Like
Oh,
there's like a certain round where it always spawns.
okay.
So you might stand a chance.
Or truth. That's 4 rockets. There's only 3 on the other team.
Oh yeah, that's true. Although, I mean, Gallahorn will do a pretty good job of that too. So.
And then if Tekken runs over and kills them before they can get
Oh,
there,
yeah.
does
Heavy ammo
the
surprise
heavy ammo surprise.
every time.
Then we can just hold on to it for the next round. That's 2 wins.
Don't worry, guys. I believe in you.
And then I'm also going to use like all 9 of my whatever thingies to get the buffs of like your first loss doesn't count. You start with 1 win, and whatever the third one is, because I need all the help I can get in PvP.
These are facts.
Exciting.
Well, I mean, Tropical's probably good enough to carry your team. You guys will be okay.
I actually do worse when I'm playing with Tekken.
Oh, never mind.
It's weird because I feel like Tekken and man, back in the day, like it was pretty crazy watching you guys play Call of Duty, and I'm just like bottom of the leaderboards. So subconsciously, I don't do as well when I'm playing with people that I know. At least
Tekken, you
initially.
ruin things.
Sometimes I can get back. Sometimes
no,
not.
You've done good when I've played multiplayer with you, though.
Sometimes I'm pretty sure most of the like early games that we play together is usually like not doing too well, and then it clicks. And it's like okay.
So
I choose
we
not
should
to
play some
remember
practice
those.
rounds then, and then the trials of Cyrus. It's like, okay, let's warm up first. But yeah, I thought that was funny, just to, like, to play on a Tuesday and then not do any rating. So that was funny.
Yeah, that was.
So I still have to read this week. Exotic shards. Finally used for all those exotics that you already have that you get in the raids.
Oh, so Glimmer seems like it's really like way easier to come by now. Well, one thing, because like after the 2 expansions, there are certain levels where there's just tons and tons of enemies that you fight. So if you just pop one of those gather more glimmer items, you just, it's like 3,000, 4,000 per one of those missions. But then now there's also, I don't know if there's going to be any more, probably in the chests maybe for Prison of Elders. There's a consumable that you get that you trade in. And instead of the measly like 200 glimmer that you get from house banners and stuff, like this gives you 2,500. And there was one for the story mission anyway, it gave you 5,000. I was like, oh, glimmer, yay! I won't be glimmer poor anymore.
Yeah, we'll see if those are a thing you come by regularly. I doubt it.
Yeah. Ooh, trials.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like I kind of feel like I can still just keep playing it on a weekly basis and not just, continually cranking it out. Because, I mean, yeah, I need to level up my stuff for, like, the Queen's Bounty and the other thing for the Prisoner of Elders, but it's like that'll go up over time, so I'm not as much worried about it. And, like, you don't really get bounties for the... Well, I guess if you just do Prisoner of Elders over and over and over again, you probably would, like, level up really fast, but... And then, the Queen's Bounty stuff I haven't done yet, so I'm not even sure, like, where those are located yet, so I don't know the optimal path and whatnot yet, so... But I'm sure, like, over time, just like the normal bounties, I will figure it all out.
Wait, have you done any of them?
Nope.
Oh, okay. They're kind of annoying. Like, it's sort of like the public event where you have to kill the miners.
Oh.
But that's not the annoying part. Like after that, you don't just get rewards
You have
like
to find the
public
chest.
events. You have to find a chest.
Yeah, I saw a video about it.
It's just like, what? And there's been a few times, like even with a map,
Wait, so even if
can't
you
find
kill
all the
them, you don't
chests.
get credit for the bounty unless you find the
You
chest.
do get credit for the
Okay,
bounty,
well, that's all
but you
that
don't
matters.
get like the chest. You have to find the chest to get potentially a key.
That's weird.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about the keys either, so it's whatever. I'm like, yeah, I guess I'll come by them eventually as I do
I
these
want
bounties.
another key. That chest, opening the super chest was awesome.
Yeah, it does have like this quasi Borderlands feel. Gamer mentioned that yesterday, this
Yeah.
morning when we were playing. Of like, I wonder if they just stole that from Borderlands. Of like, you go down into this room full of all this treasure, and there's these chests there, and you open them, just like the golden keys in Borderlands.
There's just nowhere else like that in the game,
Golden keys.
right? Yeah, that's the only treasure room.
Yeah, it's so funny because it's not even filled with glimmer; it's filled with gold. So it's like,
Yeah.
okay, what do you do with the gold? It's not really valuable anymore. Just decorated this room, whatever.
I think there was a tweet from Bungie that said you can only hold 5 keys.
Yeah, I saw that.
So vault them is the term they use. Like, vault them? That sounds more like Borderlands than like there's only one vault in Destiny.
Oh
They
man.
might have meant to say store them. You know, like normal people. Vault them. Seriously.
So yeah, I'm enjoying House of Wolves. I'm surprised. I'm glad to be back.
Yay.
I like it. Yeah. Now I can do tons of vanity stuff.
Oh, actually,
Yeah.
it's funny. Like today, or not today, but yesterday in the Nightfall, I got the first piece of armor that I will keep just because it always looks cool. It's like this for my hunter. It's like this helmet that has like a visor, corporate commander style. And it's like whatever shader I put on it, it like
Whoa.
adapts like the coloring to it like perfectly, and it's like this looks so cool.
Alright.
And I was like, oh man, it's like the stats aren't the best, but no matter what shader I put on it, it looked so cool. And then I had like this rare helmet I got that had like this little cloth thingy, and I put the glow hue on. And it was like super glow hue, and I was like, man, if this was legendary, I'd keep it just to like always have super glow hue and like completely ascend it every time. But it was not, so I had to shard it or not shard it, but dismantle it. So
I was running with most like all Iron Banner stuff, and I wasn't wearing any exotics. I was like, sort of, at a disadvantage. Was like, well, I'm dressing like this to look cool and not really to fight, even though that's mostly what we're doing.
so yeah, this is like the first time in the game where it's like, oh, I actually feel like the gear. I might, if it's aesthetically pleasing, I will not dismantle
Yeah.
it because I can make it awesome, stat wise anyway.
Can you reroll armor too, or
You can't
Yeah.
reforge armor. You
I
can
don't
just
think
do
you can.
weapons. So it's like, well,
that would have been cool if they did that too.
I don't know.
it's really rare when armor has good perks though. So unless it's like terrible. This looks cool. I mean,
Although-
maybe something to be added to the next expansion.
Although I guess the armor usually the only ones that usually have any like useful abilities are like the exotics or
Yeah.
something. 'Cause, I mean, I guess regular armor usually is just
Or the red gear.
discipline or stuff. So it's kind of
More ammo.
yeah.
Because I had to put on the piece you get from the Prisoner of Elders to get a 33 or 34, and then I couldn't get the critical hits on the Hive give you light during the arc damage situation. I was like, ugh, this would be a perfect opportunity to use that.
Black Hammer Party?
Shut up, RPG.
Do you not?
Shut up,
you-
RPG. Shut up, RPG. Nobody cares
Black
about you and your
Hammer
Black
party?
Hammer.
Oh, really?
Black Hammer.
Yes, I have a Black Hammer, but unlike you, it's not one of my favorite guns. So
It's like the best gun ever. I mean,
I don't know where my
why
Black
you hate
Hammer
so much.
is.
I have like
I-
7 of them, so I could probably give you
I've
one
misplaced it.
if they ever do put a trade system in there. I could give you one of the many I have because they kept giving them to me because they're like, hey, you clearly don't have enough of these, despite having only 3 characters. Have more.
So my prediction, the next patch is going to leave behind the older systems.
oh yeah,
And-
Charcoal had this super
Yeah.
idea about
I think it's just
See, like
gonna
the
it's
Prison
gonna
Builders
change
and the way it's
Yeah.
structured. This is like
It's
this because of
basically-
PS3 and 360.
Well, I mean, everything we've played, like even the Dark Below, like if you think, and the raids even, like if you think about what they are, they feel a lot like the make your own mission thing from Infamous 2. You know, you just sort of plop in your AI enemies because their AI is already on there. So all they have to be able to do is read the environment and read where you are. Then you, in the case of the raid, they actually built another environment. But then in lots of cases, it's just like the environment is already there. We're just going to plop in different enemies and they'll have different weapons sometimes. And, you know, in Nightfall, they'll have shields and stuff like that. And every single time, it's like all the same assets put together in a different way, and you got a new story mission. And yeah, Prison of Elders is basically that thing. They built another environment, but then they're just throwing in the same stuff that you've, for the most part, been fighting. Shanks with different effects on them, so they do different things.
Oh yeah, there were a few new enemy types.
Yeah.
Are there any giant shanks?
No.
Disappointing.
The Shanks are a little bit bigger because they added like pieces on their fronts.
Oh, it's not the same.
Actually, it's funny because there's an auto rifle right now that you can only get if you have a weapon card that's like, it does bonus shank damage. I'm like, dudes, in the next raid, there's totally going to be like either a room full of shanks or like a giant
Bonus shank damage? Like,
It's totally, it's like, exactly. It's like, why would you need bonus damage against a shank? A shank is like completely
Shank.
useless.
Yeah,
So
they're
why
like
would-
one of the least threatening enemy types in the game.
it's like either this is A, a red herring, or B, this is going to be like super useful. And like after this week when it's gone, it's like you're going to regret it forever. So I totally got it. So I was like, well, I have 2 weapon cores, so I'll just use one on this.
Shanks are really deadly, actually, but they don't.
if you
I think it's like one shot and they die. So, what does more damage to a shank do?
it makes
Like
it
even with the
super
sidearm,
down.
it's like sidearm. The ones with shields, I think even it was like 3 shots. 2 shots took down the shield, and then 1 shot, and they don't even explode with that sidearm. They just vaporize.
Yeah, I saw that happen a lot. I was like, oh, they're not exploding anymore.
Which it was throwing me off actually. But yeah, like I think the next one they announced, oh, sorry, last gen, like we're abandoning you. You can continue playing and get your characters up to 34 or whatever, and then you can import them into the new one, which will be just way bigger.
More shanks.
So that's exciting. Or they could disappoint me, which could happen too.
Yeah, it's like at this point, it's like the sooner they leave behind last gen, the better.
Yeah,
just cut the cord already, Bungie. Just do it.
you can see the seams now. It's like, okay, you know, Destiny is sort of coming apart at the seams on last gen now, so fit it into current gen, next gen. I forget what I'm calling it right now.
Maybe that's their plan.
And then it's just this huge box, and you'll have this tiny thing inside called Destiny. It's like, now you can turn that thing into a huge thing to fill this box.
They were trying to make you want Destiny 2, is what they were doing. That's their plan.
I don't want this. I hope they don't call it Destiny 2. That would
They're going to.
be infuriating.
I mean, what else are they going to call it? More Destiny? I mean,
Destiny
what-
Plus.
Destiny something something guardian.
Super
Destiny's
Destiny
Complete
Alpha
Edition.
or
Something,
something,
something
like something ridiculous. So, no. Call up their friends at Capcom. It's like, help us come up with the title of this game. We need your help.
Super
Oh,
Destiny.
It's like, oh, we got you guys. We got you.
Actually, I think it's
When
cool
it
because
comes
if
to
you look
title.
at the intro mission, or not the intro, but like the intro cutscene that plays with Petra, that like you get, and she like talks about the like Black Garden and Crota. It's like I can't like I still have like the part in me that is like I believe in this game, and like I can't wait to like get to like the Exo lady, and then like you probably will find the Exos like later on, like sometime like way farther in like the galaxy or something, and it's gonna be so cool. And like yeah, I still believe. I still believe.
Saturn.
It's like you probably like get outside the solar system. And it's like we found these exo people, and it's like another hub world or something. It'll be so cool. I can't wait.
That's really neat. Yeah, Petra is way different than I thought she was. Like when we met her back when the first Queen's Wrath thing was an event, she did not seem like, in this one she's portrayed as sort of she's like a desk worker, but she's extremely excited to be in the field. So she's like just pumped. It's like, yeah, we're gonna go out and kill Fallen. Yeah. Well, I mean, I won't be killing them, but I'll be listening to you kill them. So I'm
Vicarious
pumped.
murder.
It's just like, huh? Like, did that first, like when we saw you on the tower, like this is not the type of person I would have pegged you to be.
Maybe she knew it was going to be more temporary the first time, and then that's why she was excited. But this time she's
She
like,
had like
"Yeah,
her
I'm here to
helmet
stay."
on and full armor, and she was very stoic when you saw her the first time, and now she's like playing with her throwing knife and all happy. It's like, yeah, field work, woohoo!
And
Now
it's
she's
funny because like there's a part where Varix talks about working with the Fallen, and he's like, not all of the Fallen are lost, blah blah blah. So now it's kind of weird, but ironically, it does kind of tie into RPG's crazy theory of like maybe the Traveler's evil because
Am I
like
crazy though?
you
Am I?
eventually
Because it's
could
true.
be teaming up with like the Vex and the Cabal and the Hive, and then like at the end of the day, it's like, oh, actually, the Traveler is evil, and we must keep him from awakening. But he's already woken, and we must destroy him. The giant fight, blah, and yeah,
Oh,
Tell you
that's how
second one day,
space battles come
space
in.
battle.
not even gonna tell you. You're just gonna log into Destiny one day, and it's just gonna be total chaos, and it's gonna be because of the Traveler. And
It'd
then they're
be
like, "Jump in your ship.
it,
We need your help
yeah,
immediately."
it'd be just like a World of Warcraft Cataclysm when like they turn the key to like destroy the land when you logged in the next time.
The tower is destroyed.
Oh man,
All the guardians are flying away.
that would be insane. It's like, what happened? The Traveler awoke, and he's evil. No.
It's like, yes, I knew it. I knew it. So yeah, just be prepared for that, guys, because he's totally evil. I don't trust him.
Exciting.
I don't trust him at all.
10 years from now.
Although, if my guardians get killed off, you know why? I got too close, and he didn't like that. It's like he knows too much.
Log in. Deleted.
My characters are deleted. It's like, wait, what? It's like he knew too much. Don't do that, Bungie. I'd be pissed.
So I guess we can move on from Destiny to
Did you play new stuff, Tekken?
I did not. What do you mean by new? Like not Destiny and not stuff I've been playing in the past?
Usually,
Yeah, I guess. Is
it's new.
that what new means?
Yeah.
I might have, but all this Destiny. Actually, no, because I don't think I played any Deus Ex. I played the Rhythm, but it's like whatever. It's the Rhythm. I played Project Cars, but whatever, dude. It's like the same talk from last week of like, yeah, it's cool, but if you're not into it or it's a different style than what you're used to, you might not like it. So yeah, I mean,
Is it really grindy?
no, it's not grindy.
Thing? So is it similar feeling to Gran Turismo?
I would say because it's very sim. You're just you're changing what you're doing all the time depending on what you're doing. So it's very involved and focused, but it does a good job of keeping things fresh all the time.
Did you play Need for Speed Shift?
Yep.
Is it similar to that, or is it similar more to Gran Turismo? Like Gran Turismo,
Oh, it's not similar.
You said
to
to know
Turismo,
where you're
actually,
going.
really, as far as like the credits and
Oh,
getting cars and stuff. It's not. It's. I'd say it's more like Grid Autosport. Grid Autosport's probably the most
okay,
similar
so it's
to.
like your
'Cause you have
career and
yeah,
all
like
that.
like multiple disciplines as you play through your career, and then try to place, and then you get sponsorships or not, and yeah. But I'm enjoying it, even though I'm probably gonna be playing it less now because it's Destiny. But we'll see.
Dun dun dun.
Too many games.
Well, I mean, one game isn't too many games. Really, how that works.
Too much game now.
Well, I guess now that I finished, if I could just finish Deus Ex, then I could have like a reason to start playing with The Witcher and then get through it. But I guess I'll just put Deus Ex on pause and then
I
start
was
The
about
Witcher.
to say, you already beat Deus Ex. You could just play The Witcher.
I'm about to start up the first one because GOG Galaxy is so cool, and it makes me feel like now I want to play something on this platform. Played some Star Control, but I've played that before too. Witcher 1 and 2.
Yeah, I haven't really played any. Well, I mean, besides Project Cars, I have nothing new to say. So, or the Rhythm, which I have nothing new to say on. So I have nothing else to really talk about. So someone else can talk about what they've been playing.
I'm disappointed. At every turn.
I started playing the second playset. But I have a ton of Disney Infinity playsets now.
Yay!
It was ridiculous. Like they planned their promotion very well. They put characters and everything on sale. Then they announced 3.0.
Are you just really susceptible?
There was, yeah, I'm really susceptible, which means like if it works on, I am like the according to plan person. So if this was the plan, then it worked accordingly, at least on one person.
World full of
and I'm pretty sure I'm not alone. But yeah, I ended up with a ton of playsets, and I started playing the second one that I got, Guardians of the Galaxy. And it's cool, like there's so like when you're playing multiplayer split screen, you can pick up the other character. And it's cool, for certain characters they have special animations for that. So like when Iron Man picks up Elsa, it's just like, you know, it just looks weird, like she's standing on top of his hands and he's holding her in the air. But with Rocket and Groot, like Rocket actually rides on Groot's shoulder. And it's not as cool as it could be. Like I thought Groot would be able to still do melee attacks, and then Rocket could fire his guns, and the second player could fire. So you'd be running around like a tank.
Sheesh.
But it's not like that. Like you can. What I use it primarily for is like the Guardians playset is more platformy. You know, the Avengers one was very sort of like the Spider-Man games, or if you could fly around. I guess it would be kind of like Saints Row, except not as dirty. Guardians of the Galaxy takes place on nowhere, and it's a lot more platformy. It feels kind of like Ratchet and Clank, actually. And yeah, so when the platforming gets tough, that's when I would, as Groot, pick up Rocket. My daughter was trying to play it, and then my wife was playing with me later. I was like, "Oh, this part looks difficult," so I'll just carry him on my shoulder, and they can still shoot. And it's like, "Oh, that's really fun." Man, it's so fun. There's a ton of enemies in this one, though. But Groot is ridiculously powerful. His range attack is he sticks his arm into the ground, and then just like a tree fist comes out of the ground under enemies. And once you upgrade it, it hits multiple enemies, so it'll come out multiple times and hit multiple enemies, and like the targeting is all auto. So you basically, if you see anyone in your forward field of vision, you just hit R2 and they all die. It's like, this is it feels awesome to be this powerful, but this is overpowered.
I mean, he was kind of like that in the movie too, though. So I mean, it's not.
That was very disturbing. He skewered all those guys.
That was hilarious because it like went on for like a full like minute. and then like that smile he gave afterwards, like he's like, "I did good, right?" And it's like, "Oh, it's so adorable," but it's like but disturbing at the same time.
That's what Rocket meant. If you don't smile, then yeah, it's like you're a professional. If you smile, you're like some crazy man.
I mean, I don't think he was being crazy though, because I mean, for him, it almost seemed like he was like looking for their approval after he did it, because he was like, "I did good, right, guys, right?" So I don't know.
Yeah, it's fun. It's disorientating sometimes because he only says, "I am Groot." And like all the characters say stuff when they do things, or like when they level up, and sometimes they're like cut off, or I'm not sure if it was like I am Groot. It's like, what happened there? Was that a sound glitch? Or is he, is that a complex sentence? Did he say something else in that?
Isn't that how like Pokemon speak works? So, like, do their names and then the full thing. It's like I completely understood what you just said. I have no idea what this thing is saying to me.
Pick up, me.
It's like sure, sure. Yeah. We'll go to the beach today.
Um, yeah, I mean, we've been talking a lot about DLC stuff and whether it's good or bad, and like Disney Infinity is really, I suppose if you're against DLC, it's like terrible in every way except for one, in that DLC, like one of the things that you worry about is I bought this virtual stuff, and if the servers go offline, then the thing that I bought is sort of just gone forever. But these, it's like, well, if the data is somehow destroyed or whatever, I at least have this plastic statue that looks pretty good. That's like the only redeeming factor. Everything else, if you hate DLC, it's like you buy the starter pack and you have 3 characters, which are used as continues. Like if one character dies in the middle of a mission, you can restart your progress at the last checkpoint, or you can put on another character, and that lets you continue. And it's like, so if you want more continues, you have to spend like close to $15 to get another continue. And then a thing that I found out was like there's these game discs. So not all the discs are just. Wait, did I talk about the disc last time?
I think you did.
Okay, it's like I'm in trouble. Like the discs are actually kind of cool. It's like, oh my gosh, there's so many of them. Anyway, but yeah, like some of the discs are actual toy box games, so like they're built out full games in them. There was a tower defense when I talked about. But the thing that I found out was that you can't use Disney original characters in the Marvel toy box games. So the Thor based tower defense, I can't use like Baymax or whoever to play it. I actually have to buy the Disney Originals one, which functionally is identical. It's based around Stitch, and it's like it's tower defense. It's basically the same, but that's the one where you can use Disney Infinity or original characters, but you can't use Marvel characters. So to level them up, like it's way harder to level up Disney Originals in 2.0 because they don't have any play sets. You have to play the tower defense game, or you have to play in community build stuff. And there's just you don't get XP for completing missions. It's just all through combat. It's like it's taking a long time. Upgrading them is really fun, or getting the new skills is really fun. The upgrading part feels a bit faster.
Is upgrading ever fun in games? It's like the whole.
It's still fun in
grind
Diablo.
thing.
Like Diablo 3 is still really fun for me.
Or is it?
But and there's actually a Diablo type game based around Guardians of the Galaxy that you can play. I was like, it's okay. I'm more looking forward to the third one's take on that, because it's supposed to be way better.
Of course, it's the next version of it. It better be better. It better be better.
I don't know. I saw the video they put up on the Game Informer YouTube channel of like the new combat from Ninja Theory.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know.
It looked like
It looked
I don't
flashier,
think it.
but not
Yeah.
like functionally better per se.
It doesn't compare to like Batman.
Yeah.
I don't think like Batman. That thing is just genius. The combat is so good. But no, I think it's mostly from like game feel. It's gonna feel better in 3.0 because it's just like there's less lag. And possibly more tactically involved. This one, like, there's a little bit, there's a strong attack that breaks blocks. But I think most of the fun that I have from combat is just seeing the animations and like being like, oh yeah, like this is a cool way for Iron Man to fight, and it looks really cool and it's fun. It feels fun, but it's not. I understand it's not it's not Arkham Combat.
Well, I mean, you can't compare stuff like that to Arkham. It's like you, you shouldn't do stuff like that.
And yet you kind of have to because
No,
Arkham exists in
you
this
don't
world.
have to do anything. You choose to compare them. You can just have fun playing the style they are instead of thinking, well, this could be Arkham, but it's not. So,
Well, I'm having a ton of fun. And what was my crazy idea this week?
oh no.
Oh, I hooked up my 360.
Why?
I haven't seen my 360 in like a year and a half, maybe 2 years. I hooked it up because they're telling me that the money I have in my wallet is going to expire.
How
And
does
I
it
was like,
expire?
money expires?
I was like, since when is that a
I
thing?
thought they were just gonna like decrease the amount it was worth or something stupid.
Is that what they're going to do? Like, I know before it was Microsoft points, right?
Yeah,
And then there was a time when they changed it over to dollars.
I think they're like
So now,
changing it back in some weird way. But it's like your points are gonna be worth less when they do
are they
it.
doing that now?
I guess so.
Hmm.
I
The
spent all
email
my
I
stuff,
said,
so I have no idea.
yeah, the email I got said your money is going to expire at the end of June, and I was like,
That's weird.
are you allowed to do that?
That's what I'm saying. I was
I
like,
mean, granted, some of the money in there was sort of promotional money that I got from working in stores, and it's just like, but now it's just money. Like, see, it says $31. Like now it's dollars, and those don't expire. When there are points, do whatever. The money shouldn't expire.
walk into a store and they're like, "Sorry, your dollar's expired. Could you give me
Yeah,
like?"
it's like, oh, this dollar bill, look, it's clearly gone bad.
It's not. That's not how that works.
Ew. Uh, so yeah, I was like, okay, fine. I guess I have to hook up my 360 and see what I can spend this on.
Nothing.
Yeah, it's really hard. I was looking at lots of games like, well, this was good. But the thing is, like, it doesn't feel like a lot of these games hold up. Yeah, even like Shadow Complex was really awesome in its day, right? But now there's lots of games like that.
What games haven't you played on a 360 before? Yet, thingy stuff, reasons.
I just, yeah, I don't know. I was looking through, it's like, okay, which ones are exclusives? That's what I should be getting with this, right?
Good luck with that.
And I was like, by the end, there really weren't that many exclusives. Like, everything was on everything. And I was like, okay, how about Connect games? Those are exclusive.
Why would you do that, Chapter Hole?
Well, he didn't really have much of an option. I mean,
Yeah, I was
I'm just
like,
saying.
Connect games.
I'm just saying,
or,
when given a choice between Connect game and non-Connect game, I would never choose Connect game.
But it's like, so, what can I get? Like, what's good on 360
Viva Pinata.
that I can't get on? Okay, I have that one.
Oh, then yeah,
What
I have
else is
nothing else
there?
for you.
Yeah. Just like-
I'm
I
sorry.
don't know
like-
off the top of my head, dude.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's Lost Odyssey, but I mean,
I have that one too.
oh, then yeah, that's all I got. I'm sorry. You're pretty much out of luck then,
I was like, what?
because everything else is like.
I don't want stuff that's too old because that really isn't going to hold up, I guess. And then, but all the newer stuff is on all the other platforms too.
Yeah, it's like all multi-platform now, so it's kind of like.
So I was sitting there's like, what the heck can I get? It's like, well, Connect games, like maybe, and then maybe they'll be fun to just mess around with if we're not serious.
Mm,
Well, the other problem is there's other stuff but it's also on PC, like State of Decay and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think I have that one on PC.
Me
Or
too.
that's what I was looking at. And they re-released it also.
Yeah.
And it's just I'm looking, it's like, I don't know what I want here. I just downloaded a bunch of
Actually,
demos.
there should be like some Xbox Arcade stuff, like wow, the name is very Japanese and I almost butchered it.
very Japanese.
Not,
Alrighty.
not Ikaruga, because that's an old one. It's not the one I'm thinking
Like
of.
the shooter ones.
Radiant Silvergun, stuff like that. Yeah, stuff like that.
Well, the one I saw so far was Charlie Murder, which is from Ska Studios. They did Dishwasher Samurai.
What?
I thought that game was really fun. You never played that one?
No.
Oh man,
I know
those
what it is,
games.
but I haven't played it.
Yeah, Charlie Murder is like I think it's a 4-player beat 'em up one. So,
Yeah, there's stuff like that too.
but yeah, as so far it's been really tough. I was like, I don't know what I want to get here. But anyway, like the crazy idea came from that partially because I saw one of the Connect game demos was Disneyland Adventures. I was like, oh, what other games were based off of Disney parks? There was one I played on the NES, and I can't remember what it was called. It was like a Space Mountain level that I remember. That was really hard.
I have no idea.
Yeah,
No idea there.
I have no idea. And then I started thinking, oh, I wonder if people have made like recreations of Disney parks in Disney Infinity. Because you can get Spaceship Earth, like the Epcot Center logo, that building. And you can build the Magic Kingdom castle. And I think a few, like Haunted Mansion is one of the things you can get. Oh my gosh. Today I learned that, those, what are they called? It's like that pass wristband that you can get at Disney World. It's like Magic Band or something, I guess it's called.
I feel like you're making this up, but I think but part of me
Wait.
kind of feels like it does exist.
When you last went to Disney, was it all like scan tickets? Let me
I don't know what
rephrase
you
that.
mean.
So it's like a card. The tickets
Uh-huh.
are a card now, and
Oh.
it's like near field communication. So like the instead of like the tickets from before, where it's like a paper thing, and you sort of it's like going through the subway. You put it into the like turnstile, and then it spits it back out. Now it's just like this cool looking Mickey half circle, and you just touch the card to it, and it scans it, and then that's your ticket.
Oh,
Was it like that before?
it was not.
Okay. It's like that. It is so cool now, but apparently like instead of the card, what you can do is you can buy these wristbands that have the same near field communication like technology in them. And then you just scan the wristband as you walk through to the different rides and stuff. Apparently it uses the same communication as the Disney Infinity pad, and if you take one of those magic bands and you scan it on the pad in the game, like it unlocks like different exclusive content. I was like, oh, I should have got one last time.
You should have. I'm disappointed in you.
And I've totally forgot I was talking about. Oh yeah, the parks.
Something about Disney, because it's awesome. I don't know.
I don't know.
Can you buy one
it is
online?
awesome. I'm very excited.
Oh yeah, you could
For
probably
3.0.
find one online.
I'm pretty sure you can find them online. Magic bands. But it feels sort of crazy. Like I think they cost like $40. And it's not a ticket. Like it's a thing that holds your ticket
But
in a computerized way, not actually
once you
physically.
have it though,
They kind of
Yeah, once you have it though, then it's like, ooh, I'm being environmentally friendly.
It kind of
Well, I mean,
reminds
that I
me
would care about
of Monster Rancher, how you could like put different CDs on the PlayStation and it would, like
I missed that series.
randomly generate monsters.
That's right.
But yes,
Oh man, why doesn't that exist anymore?
because Pokemon. That's why. Tropical makes me sad because
yeah. I just
enjoyed Monster Rancher.
I partially went into like, oh my gosh, I want all the Disney games mode, and then I started looking at them. It's like, even Disney Interactive themselves would admit that they've had it. It's been off and on with games, mostly off. Like they missed on a lot of those. I was like, okay, never mind. I'll just look for ones that are about the parks. Anyway, yes, very excited for Disney 3.0. Playing a lot of
I am
2.0.
too now.
It's so cool. So cool. Did you check out the PC one?
No. remember Tropical? I was like, you know what? After you somewhat, or not somewhat attempting, but like after hear you just talking about this, I'm going to, not be at all influenced by this indoctrination to Disney, and I'm going to not do this. And
It's not
and
indoctrination.
the first review I read on the Steam thing was like, it's like Pokemon if you pay for every Pokemon. So it's like, yeah, no thanks.
Except it's awesome.
Pass, pass, pass,
And
pass, pass, pass.
Disney.
It's kind of different though. Like Pokemon is all about collecting them all,
You gotta get them all.
and it's not. Disney Infinity is more about like yes, they are trying to make you desire to want them all, but you don't actually need them all.
And besides, Pokemon are like one-trick ponies. They can only kill each other. You, you play different game modes with
It's kind of true.
figurines.
Rocket has no melee attack. Apparently, he can only shoot guns.
Well, he is in all fairness, he is like a raccoon. So
I would still check it out. Like the PC version, or the Steam one, you have to actually pay for initially, and it gives you more stuff. But like with the free to play one, it's just I think they rotate characters. It's like 3 characters you can try every day, and then actually with that, since it doesn't come with any playsets, I would just play like the I think it's called Disney Treasure Hunt or something. It's a really cool intro to just sort of the world. But then, I guess you can just watch YouTube for that.
or go to a Disney park. They're magical,
But no thanks.
They're so far away.
but it's worth it
Sometimes.
all the time.
I've realized that with children, you have to go in bigger groups. That way, there's always people to watch the children.
Wow. Very cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
So that is all you've been playing, Tropical.
Yeah, just those 2.
Okay, were you playing RPG?
Oh, nothing and everything at the same time. At the same time.
Did you have to
Um,
scramble this week to play something for the show?
It's like what I do every week now. Just like, oh no, it's Wednesday, guys. Oh my gosh, get a video game, find a video game, just play something. So yeah, that's usually. I don't know. It's weird because it's like usually I won't play anything like days after the podcast, and then it's like it'll be Monday or something. It's like, oh, I do still have video games. I should probably play something before get there. It's like, oh yeah. So yeah, it's weird. I don't know. I think I'm just going through a phase right now. Maybe it's because of the whole E3 thing coming up soon. The excitement's kind of like killed my feel to play video games. I think that usually happens around E3 time. It's like where I won't play stuff unless I like force myself to. So it's weird. I don't know. It's weird. But anyway, this weekend, Freedom Wars and Soul Sacrifice Delta were both on sale this week. And I was like, oh, maybe a bunch of people will buy it. So then I should go ahead and start playing so I can help noobs out and stuff. So I started playing both of them again. So I started playing Freedom Wars because I was like, oh, there's probably going to be a bunch of new people on that need help, like lowering their sentences and stuff. So started, and I went into my weapon factory thingy, and I realized that I don't know if this might have been like after I had beat the game or whatever, but it like unlocked like these a series of melee weapons that were all like these special like health draining weapons or something. Well, they don't drain your health, but they like drain health from the enemies and give them to you kind of thingy. So I kind of went through them and tried to figure out what I wanted to get. So I ended up making the Holy Lance and using that as my secondary weapon alongside my chainsaw sword thingy. So I now use like double melee weapons instead of having like a melee weapon and a gun like everybody else does, because everybody else plays normally, and I'm like, yeah, you need that. So I started upgrading my weapons, and then I went online and started helping people, and then like I was playing with this one group, and they got my accessory kidnapped, and I was like, no. So I got captured by one of the abductors, and I was sad because that was a hard mission. So we were not getting her back. So she got trapped by the tiger thing monster whatchamaface thing. So we were all trying. We were like, and it was sad because it's like I could tell that everybody was like desperately trying to help me get her back, but I was like, it's fine, guys. There's no way this is happening because we were fighting like two of those winged tiger things at the same time, and they are like ridiculously powerful. I was like, it's fine, guys. We put in a good effort, but it's not happening. So once she got captured, I was like, it's fine. She, I'll just use one of the mini replacements I have because when you like trade rap sheets with people, you can like use their accessories as your spare accessories just in case just in case something like that happens. So I was just using like a couple of other people's like stuff for the time being until I went offline and did the rescue mission to rescue my accessory. So I saved her and I was like, "Yay, you're back!" and all is well. So I mean, I obviously couldn't just leave her because I mean, she's my accessory. I can do that. So I ended up saving her and then went back to playing stuff online. So I was like, it's fine, guys. It's fine. Crisis averted. So it was because it was weird having like somebody else like surveilling over me. Is that even a verb? Yeah, I don't care. But it's like somebody like watching me while I was in my cell because it's like you're not my normal accessory. So this is just weird now. So I had to go and get her back because otherwise it's just I don't know how I feel about someone else's accessory watching me. It's weird. So yeah. But anywho, I just played a bunch, and then we tried to tackle like some other missions, but a lot of the like post game stuff is like hard. So if the people you're playing with aren't like good, then it's gonna be difficult. So yeah, yeah. So I did like some of the early stuff to like help people get like reclaim citizens and stuff, which was like easy stuff. So I did get some more assistance for like my factories and everything. So that worked out. So it was fine. So I was just like, yeah, this works. So that's pretty much how that went. But I started playing Soul Sacrifice Delta, and um, I there was like I went on initially. I guess I was gonna try to find new people in there to play, but then I kept running into all these veteran people. So I was like, well, I guess maybe people didn't buy Soul Sacrifice Delta or something, or maybe they just didn't. Oh, well, then again, I think in Delta you actually have to play through story stuff first before you actually unlock the online. So that's probably what it was. It's like people just haven't gotten that far yet. So I don't know. I was playing with a bunch of veteran people, but some of those battles were kind of cool because I fought some monsters I hadn't before. When I had played, and like one of the groups I was playing with, like quite a few of them had already been they had like quite a few heart sigils or something because you get that anytime you do like the rite of transmutation once you get to level 100. So it's kind of like I want to say like the prestige thing in Call of Duty. Is that how that works? When you get to the max level, it like restarts you to the beginning and you get like an
Yep.
emblem thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like similar to that, except that you actually get like a stats boost and an experience boost that goes along with it. And some of them had like 57 of them, which means they've gotten to level 157 times and done this over. So I was like,
Wow.
that is dedication right there because I actually just did my first one this weekend. So I was like, yay! I finally got one compared to like people in their 57s and like 70s and stuff. I was like, huh, I am really behind. But it explains why some of them are so powerful because yeah, that you would kind of need to be for some of them. So I ended up having to play like combat medic for my duration of play because I could not even begin to try to do damage output stuff for that. So my setup is usually like I'll have my area healing spell to like heal people and stuff, and one of my mimic spells so I can just copy a spell from one of my teammates. So I usually had that, and the parasitic one is like a new one that they added where you if you use it on like an enemy, they'll start like growing vines out of them if you're like healing them or if you're using like a healing spell near them or something, or sometimes if they're like trying to heal themselves, and then eventually it'll grow into a tree and then like explode them. So I use that as like a way to stagger the enemy so I can get them down for the rest of my teammates to kind of just like attack them and do that stuff. So we were playing some of them, and we like fought Beelzebub, and then like a Bahamut appeared, which is apparently like a random archfiend that just shows up randomly in people's or like in random uh missions. So that was that kind of caught me off guard because I didn't know about him at first, and then he kind of like killed me when he first showed up, and I was like, that's rude because I don't even know who you are. So it was crazy, but yeah, it was fun. and we kind of played for a while and went on a bunch of missions. So I ended up like leveling up pretty quickly again before I had stopped and got some more spells and stuff. But some people use some interesting combinations on there because there was like one time we were fighting this one monster, and one guy was using like this spell combo where he like raises uses like creates like a pillar or something, and he just climbs on top of it and uses it to like hold one of the hold like the big boss in place thing, because there's like some spells where you can use it where you can like petrify yourself, but it'll also petrify the archfiend like directly in front of you. So it's kind of like a it can hold them both in place with whatever status effect you use, as long as you hold it up. And he was kind of like doing that while the rest of us are like fighting it. And but I'm not sure how he was able to accomplish it because those spells usually like drain your health at the same time. So I don't know what he was doing, but maybe he had like some kind of healing spell that like regens him or something. So or regens, whatever. So I don't know. It's weird, but yeah, I've seen some more interesting combinations with people like buffing up their armors with like elemental spells and stuff. So that was pretty cool. And yeah, that was pretty much it. And then other than that, wait, I played something else, but I forgot what it was. Crap balls. Give me a second. Give me a second. I don't know why I can't think of it.
That's funny.
Oh, right. I was playing Tokyo Twilight Ghost Hunters. I was like, wait, because I was doing all Vita stuff this weekend, so that would have been had to be it. So yeah, I was playing that, and I finally won that board game once. So I was proud of myself. I mean, I was like, that's one out of like a couple of dozen times now. Good job, me. So yay! My record is like 1 to like everyone else is like 7. So it's like, well, I tried, so it's fine. But each I only did like one more of the main story, but it turns out apparently you can like pick up side missions from the in-game website. I didn't know before that apparently when you like go to the computer thing, if you press like the L1 and the R1 button, it'll like make the screen get all staticky and take you to like the occult site or something, and then you can like pick up side missions where you can like do exorcisms. So I did like a few of the side missions, and before I finished up one of the main story missions, so we had to take down this like rock guitar ghost guy and stuff. So we also met a new teammate too who uses a guitar as a weapon. So he joined our team, and we now have more people to help us ghost hunt. So yay, teamwork. So that's pretty much all I've been playing.
Alrighty then. I guess we can move on to the news segment. Unless there's a middle segment.
Of course
Nope.
there is, because
It's a news day.
oh,
Oh, okay.
Well, not really. I think it's lots of game announcements are coming out. Like the thing I just saw a moment ago was, I guess, a new Need for Speed is being announced tomorrow.
oh, but I haven't played any of those in like forever. So I haven't been meaning to.
People think it looks like Underground.
Oh man, if it's underground, I'm happy. That was like, dude, like after Underground 2, it's like just the long decline of like Need for Speed as a series. Or not decline of like as a series, but just like of like nothing awesome, essentially. Or like coming back up to that point of like, man, that was so good.
It went off in many different directions.
Yeah, it's like yeah, I think that's what it was. It's like Need for Speed Underground, you knew what you were getting into. It was like, you know, underground street racing, and like before it was more like high end like supercars, but like after that it lost its focus of like what do we want the series to be.
Yep. So yeah, whatever that's gonna be, that's showing off tomorrow. Hellblade, I guess they're gonna show off gameplay the Saturday before E3. So that could be cool. MPD last month, Xbox One outsold PS4. Explains all the sales that have been going on. Like Xbox One has been pretty cheap for quite a while.
Well, they have to get rid of it now. I mean,
Comes with a lot of stuff now. It's like,
it's like, please buy me, please.
Sony opened a new studio in England to be Project Morpheus. focused. I think it's called Northwest Studio.
Hmm.
Mm. Hmm. What else was there?
There was the Doom 4 teaser.
Oh yeah, which I actually didn't see, so I'm not sure.
Oh, I know, it was like 30 seconds. You didn't miss anything.
Well, it's a teaser. I mean,
Never
you're
mind
supposed
then.
to happen. It's supposed to just tease you. It's not supposed to give you a full-on thingy and stuff.
Yeah, and then lots of stuff. It was just there was a lot of Witcher stuff over the last week.
Well, that's because it got released.
Yeah, there's just
There.
tons of Witcher stuff. Like apparently that thing about Green Man Gaming not having keys turned out to be true. So people who pre-ordered from Green Man Gaming didn't get their games until later, and so they had to issue refunds to people who didn't want it anymore, or wanted to buy it from somewhere else. Or I think recently they sent out coupons for like 40% off their next purchase for anyone who pre-ordered.
No one's gonna want to purchase from them again after that. Sheesh.
Well, who knows?
And then I also thought, after I saw the launch trailer, that they had like all the accolades in front of it, of like maybe that's why they let the embargo drop early, is to get like
So
all the
they
good-
could have accolades.
yeah, like all the good reviews, and then put it in front of the new launch trailer. To be like, look how awesome this game is, go buy it.
Which is kind of hilarious considering there's already like a bunch of hype surrounding the game anyway. So it's like, man, was it necessary? So
I mean, you could put like, this game won blah 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 at E3, but at E3 it wasn't playable, or it wasn't in its finished state or complete. So now it is, and people are still saying it's awesome. So yeah, proof is in the pudding or something. If you care about game reviews and stuff.
But you shouldn't. They're the worst.
Wow. Apparently, if you buy The Witcher 3 from Uplay, which is Ubisoft's PC thing, you also get Assassin's Creed 4, The Crew, Watch Dogs, and Child of Light.
Oh my. So they're just giving them away. Just like,
I
take 'em
guess
all.
so.
Just take them. Would it be weird to buy that just so I can get Child of Light? It probably would be, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would be weird because Child of Light is way cheaper than $60.
But I would get all those other games I would never play with it, though. So, I mean, it totally works out.
Holy cow. Apparently, you can buy the Witcher trilogy for $70 and then get those 4 games with it.
Hmm.
7 games for $70.
Interesting. Although I guess you wouldn't really have to play the first 2, though, if you could just do the simulate your save thing and then just pretend like you played the other ones.
Oh, did you see how it takes your choices from the first 2 into the third one?
I did not.
Apparently, there's like a interrogation interview scene at the beginning of the game, and you get to answer questions about what happened in the past. I saw part of it and I was like, this is all gibberish because I haven't played the second one. I was like, did this happen? Like,
It's like,
"You
sure?
sure?"
It depends. Was it good? Because if it was, then yes, it totally happened. If it was bad, then no, they did not.
Suddenly I was reminded of one time I got sent through security because at customs they asked me, do you have any food with you? And I said, in this cadence, airline peanuts? And just looked at me and said, you don't seem so sure, and sent me through to get searched. And I was like,
Good job, Tropical. That's like one of the few times you should never like answer like that. Like, it's airport security.
It's like,
This was-
that was not a yes or no.
I just
Red flag.
like, can't trust this guy now. Search him.
the question part comes from, does that count?
Oh, that was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if there was more news than that, it was sort of drowned out by all the Witcher talk.
Right? It always is.
It was very.
I think they showed Rock Band 4, didn't they?
Yeah, like IGN First has Rock Band going on right now, so I think they did show that. Apparently, it's just like better looking Rock Band. Did we talk about the difference between Guitar Hero Live and Rock Band 4?
We talked about Guitar Hero Live, but we didn't talk about Guitar Hero 4. I mean, Rock Band 4.
It seems like what they're doing, like they both sort of have the same idea, but their way of getting to it is sort of different. So both teams have said that they want to make it. They want their games to be more like the experience of playing live music. And the way that Guitar Hero has done it is like, oh, we're just going to record real people. So the game footage is real people. It's an FMV game. And so that will make it feel like you're playing in front of, you're playing live music because there's a live audience.
Yay.
And Guitar Hero or Rock Band, their idea is live music has sort of more of an improvisational feel to it. And so they're adding a lot of more sort of flexibility to the game. Like when you're playing different notes and stuff, like the freestyle parts in the songs, like they're making it so that it feels more like you're playing music rather than just sort of hitting random buttons and things like that.
Because I thought that like that because they announced this one thing with the vocal thingy or something that I thought was pretty cool. I was like, oh, that's cool.
It's like you won't be locked to like trying to sing at the same, I don't know, tone or whatever that it was before, and you just have to follow the line.
The same pitch thing, which was like it was difficult for some because I know whenever the only time I ever played Rock Band 4, I did like the vocals or whatever, and I was like, there were some songs where I was like, yeah, there's no way in hell I could get my voice that high. So I was like, why would anyone be able to do this? So I was like, yeah, that's kind of
So like for vocals, they're letting you basically as long as it's in tune, then it's fine. So it doesn't have to be exactly what the original was. It can be sort of freestyled, but
and you can ad lib stuff.
Yeah, you still get points.
Like, yes, it's gonna be like a real concert, guys. So I was like,
so yeah, after I saw that, I was like, I don't know which one I think is gonna be better. Guitar Hero, I feel like, presentation wise, I think it'll be more fresh, and maybe that will pull more people in. But then Rock Band, like, oh, and also Guitar Hero Live has that really cool Guitar Hero TV thing where it's just like no more DLC exactly. It's just on the cloud, and you just have tons of music to play there, and it's just included. Whereas Rock Band is still going sort of their traditional route of DLC songs. So yeah, like Rock Band, visually it's gonna be more similar to the old ones, but then gameplay wise, like, well, it is gonna have. Yeah, I feel like Harmonix is more musician type people than whoever is making the other one. I can't remember. Activision's under studio.
yeah.
So like their idea about playing live music is like, okay, that seems more. It's like a gameplay thing. So then when I look back at Guitar Hero, I was like, well, so presentation-wise, it's going to be fresh initially. But then after that, then it's, the novelty wears off. And then maybe in that case, Rock Band has more staying power, I guess. It'll be interesting to see at the end of the year.
Plastic instruments for everybody. Plastic instruments.
They return. Yeah, like as far as plastic instruments, I think Guitar Hero has a new guitar, so you have to get the new guitar. Whereas with Rock Band, they're saying, and it's like cool and also infuriating because they're like, yeah, all the old stuff will work, but the new ones that we're making are way better.
It's like, huh. It's like, so what you're saying is, it's like, I should just buy them.
Yeah, I can use the old ones. They were just gonna be sucky.
Classic.
So yeah, was there anything else other than that?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I saw, like, there's that strange thing where like Square Enix is like doing that 2.0 update for the Final Fantasy 15 demo, which I
Mm,
thought was weird because it was like it's not like a patch where they're just like fixing like a bug or something. Apparently, it's supposed to be like some kind of like huge update or something. But when I saw, it, I was like, it's a demo though. Why would they even go through the trouble of this? So I don't know. It's weird, but it's supposed to be coming in
maybe the
like
main
the
game
beginning
is
of June.
is way out there then.
Is that what it is? Because I don't know. Because it's like because apparently they're like adding like combat enhancements and like resolution upgrades for like 1080p and stuff. And it's like apparently they're just adding like all this stuff. And I'm like, this doesn't make sense. It's a demo. Why would you go through this trouble? So I don't know. It's weird. They do weird things sometimes. They also moved their E3 conference down an hour or two
To
to get
get
out of
away
Nintendo's
from
way,
Oh
Nintendo.
yeah, that did happen.
which was nice of them, I guess. But they were probably forced to because Nintendo was like, do it or die. It's like, yes, Nintendo, we apologize. We apologize. Because it's funny because I don't think Nintendo hadn't even like announced their time when Square Enix said they were doing theirs, did
Yeah.
they? But
Or
they
the
still
the time that
relinquished
Square
it.
Enix chose was the time that usually
They had
Nintendo
did it previously.
Yeah.
releases their thing.
But I mean, in all fairness, Nintendo hadn't announced it, so maybe they thought, oh, they might do it at a different time this year. And Nintendo was like, nope, you change your time now. And they're like, yes, sir. And they did because they went back an hour. So it's the power of Nintendo, guys. The power of Nintendo.
Also, it's kind of weird that Bethesda's doing theirs on Sunday, which is before Monday, so it kind of throws
Mm.
everything off.
It's like outside of E3. They're like, it's fine, guys. The doors are still locked, but we're having this conference. It's happening.
So we have the full schedule of pre-3, right?
I think
Sunday is Bethesda.
because I saw like a visual timeline thing of it somewhere, and I forgot where it was. But
The ESA
Yeah.
tweeted something and I retweeted it. It was like Bethesda, and then the next day
Yeah, I think that was
was
that.
all the
It's like Microsoft in the morning,
EA,
and then
Ubisoft.
immediately after EA, Ubisoft, and then Sony, and then the next morning, Nintendo, and then Square Enix.
I think EA is in there somewhere.
Yeah, EA is
Yeah, it was-
right after Microsoft,
I
or
think
maybe
so.
the other way around
I think so.
with Ubisoft or
Okay.
Ubisoft.
Yeah, E3 is almost here.
Monday's gonna be packed.
All of the conferences, guys. All of the conferences. I'm excited.
Yeah, that's super exciting. So like, Game Informer this month was all Disney Infinity 3.0 stuff.
Oh, I haven't got my issue yet.
Oh, I've been following that all this month, but now it's the 20th. So there's an update tomorrow, and then just a few more. So what do you think June is going to be? Do you think it's going to be a game that we've heard of already, or do you think it's going to be like Fallout 4?
They're probably gonna just I don't know. Well, wait for the
It's not
cover.
gonna be
You mean?
Fallout 4 because they don't want to like spill the beans before they announce it at E3.
'Cause that happened before with one of the games they did, didn't it? Where they spilled the beans on something before they were supposed to, or something.
Uh, well, last year the cover story was, I want to say Battleborn
Hmm.
from Gearbox. Actually, I don't remember exactly. Well, yeah, it's gonna be weird this year. Like, I think last year the magazine came out late because of E3. So like they couldn't release it before E3, and it basically came out like the day of E3. But this year, like, E3 is so much later in the month. It was like a week later. So then that would really throw off the magazine schedule if they have to wait till E3.
Oh yeah, because it is later. That would be. So maybe they are just doing like some other game, and then the next month will be like E3 stuff.
Mm.
Because I mean, there's not like anything major coming out in July, so they're
Well, I mean, yeah, like the E3 issue is always the July August one, but
although I guess like
usually
Arkham
it
Knight
the,
is happening though, so
yeah, but usually like the June issue is a big reveal that is something we haven't seen before.
but what would it be though? Because it's like I don't think anybody's gonna want their big reveal to be taken from them before E3 happens. So it's
You think
like
it's a Sony game? Could it be a Sony game?
maybe because I mean they probably have a lot more they could just give out. So that would make sense. Unless it's something stupid like Halo, because that's all Microsoft has.
Wow, that would be really boring.
Because they're like, we got to take the safe route, guys. We got to take the safe route. So
Yeah, the marketing for Halo 5 is, I guess, not kicked in yet because being a subconscious Halo fan, I don't feel anything right now.
Halo fan is that what you are?
I don't feel anything coming from Halo 5. Just not excited at all.
Could it just be because Bungie's not making it? Could that be why?
Maybe. Well, they didn't make 4 either.
Oh well, I haven't played it. It's like
Maybe that one made it not fun anymore for me. Maybe they ruined it.
It's like this isn't the same.
Yeah. E3 so soon. Did we decide when we were doing the E3 one?
The week
Did we say the week before last week? Or did we say the week before
I don't think we
last week?
I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know. I guess we could just do it the week before. That'd be fine.
Because I mean, we can't do it like too early because then it's like, well, then I don't know.
But we kind of can because like so many reveals have happened already. We're running out of things.
Because I mean, wait, is it like the third week of July or June that it's happening? Because I mean,
Second week.
Yeah,
It's not the third.
it's the third week, isn't it?
it had to be because I think it's like, isn't it like that?
Oh, it is the third week. You're right.
Yeah, it's the third week.
So,
Oh, last year it was Advanced Warfare was the reveal,
Oh, to the shock of no one.
which I think had been revealed already.
or at least people expected it
that,
to come
right?
anyway.
Yeah. Could it be that simple? It's going to be Black Ops 3.
I have a feeling it's going to be something like easy. I feel like they're going to go the safe route. So there's not going to be like something gigantic where it's like, oh my gosh, this got revealed. So yeah,
I want gigantic.
yeah, you're not going to get it. You're not going to get it. I'm sorry.
Ooh, apparently there's an expansion to Bloodborne in the works.
No. No. It's too late to beat the game. They can't expand it. It's too late. They should have thought about that beforehand. It's not the same.
Let's see. Will it be paid for? Yes, it will be paid for.
Well, of course. I'm going to give you a free expansion.
Why not?
Because that's not how you make money. Well, that's why not. Although I wouldn't even be excited for an expansion though, because it's like, I don't know. Bloodborne is not Dark Souls. Is what it's not. So I don't know. I don't know.
MPD Group had this study, and they found that the average investment in the genre of toys to life interactive game toys was $131 per household in the last 6 months.
Oh my. That's a lot of figurines.
And most of the parents, 77%, felt that the investment was definitely worth it or probably worth it.
They're probably the ones playing it. It's like,
It's weird for me to think of myself as a parent because I don't really buy them for my kids.
but she still plays though with you, so
Sort of.
well, she attempts to. She's young. It takes time. Sheesh.
Would I say it was definitely worth it? Why I like them, but I don't know if I would go that far actually. Have I spent $131 on it in the past 6 months?
It's a lot more than that. Because, yeah. Especially with all these playsets you keep getting.
I think there's only one playset I don't have, which is the Toy Story one.
But Toy Story is the awesomest.
I want it.
Get it.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna need in terms of money for just Disney Infinity in the second half of the year.
Budget.
And then Morpheus, which I do want in the next year.
Dun dun dun.
So many things. No.
Virtual reality.
And we kind of talked to a gamer about Arkham Knight Season Pass during the game night, and he didn't really have any thoughts about it. He was just like, whatever, I bought it.
He probably already bought it anyway. He's always part of the problem.
Yeah, the other thing he said he would do is if they sold keys for the the treasure chest in the Prison of Elders, he's like, I would buy them because
damn
I
it,
don't
gamer.
Care. So yeah, no insight there.
I mean, what were you expecting? It's gamer.
Oh, I mean, he has thoughts about stuff, but yeah, he
has thoughts on how soon he's gonna buy them.
Like, what do you think about it? And he's just like, I bought it, and then he asked us, how much was it? It's like, it was 40.
I mean, that was funny. He didn't even know how much it was.
Yeah,
like,
he was like,
was it 30?
That's right.
Like, no, gamer. It was
30.
not.
He's just ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's funny because like he's been burned a lot of times too,
That
and
has
yet
yet to stop him.
it doesn't matter.
He's kind of a masochist.
Capcom has said that prioritizing HD remasters is going to be something that's going to be part of a key part of its business strategy moving forward.
Oh no. Oh no.
I would be remasters. You said?
Yep.
I don't know if I'm okay with that. Depends on how. What was the reception for DMC remastered?
It's not out yet. Or the fourth one's not out. The DMC is out, but
yeah,
not the other one.
I mean, like, as far as Devil May Cry 4, that seems like a cool remaster because they're adding a lot of stuff to it.
Are they though? Are they?
It's like all the 5 playable characters now, is it? And it's coming out at like $25, I think.
Yeah, that's what I like. So is on that is the price point.
Yeah,
it's like Final Fantasy X is like, haha, $40. So good.
And yet people keep buying it, which doesn't make sense to me. I was like, why?
Not 40, 50.
Why?
I saw someone share button it on my Twitter feed. I want to be like,
damn
why did you
near
buy it?
A full
No.
game, a full price game for a PS2 game that came out like 50,000 years ago.
When it's cheap to like $15, maybe.
No, Tropical. No. Because you're encouraging their
Share.
behavior. Stop it. No.
Yeah, like what else can Capcom remaster?
They have so many Street Fighter games. So many Street
Uh,
Fighter.
well, I mean, they're already remastering the Ultimate Street Fighter 4.
Yeah,
That's not what it's called.
and they have Street Fighter
It's
5,
just
so that's
the one
no.
with everything. Oh yeah, they showed off M. Bison this week for the first time. So he'll be in the game with white hair because time has passed. He's old. Charlie is a zombie or a Frankenstein man. Chun-Li and Ryu actually do not appear to have aged. So
Magic.
not sure what's going on there. Maybe it's like Soul Calibur now.
It's some kind of weird martial arts magic they got going on.
What else can they remaster? What was
I mean, they have Resident
Dead
Evil.
Rising, Lost Planets,
They have
Resident Evil. So yeah.
Monster Hunters.
Hmm.
Have other DMCs because, yeah, why not?
Like
And
how far back can you remaster though?
I
Like PS2 sort of.
don't
Once
know.
you go back to like
You don't really want to test them out on that, do you? Because it's like you ask that question, they're like, "Well, let's find out."
Yeah, then you
Final
end up
Fight
with
HD.
yeah, like Metal Slug 3. It's like, why this one?
That's not even a remaster. It's just like here's Metal Slug 3
It's like we just want to
as
see
you
how
remember
back we
it.
can go. Because Tropical asked, and we wanted to answer his question.
I mean, it's like the oldest one we've seen so far was DuckTales, right? Which was
Ooh,
an NES game.
Yeah,
And that was remastered up to PS3, I think.
yeah.
I suppose they could release that one on PS4.
I mean, I was going to do just port it over or something.
Yeah, that'd just be a port.
So,
I guess I don't know if this was confirmed, but apparently like Konami is shifting mostly to mobile. And they're gonna bring Metal Gear and all that to mobile.
double shocking.
Is it though?
I was being sarcastic.
Hmm. So major moves coming from Japanese companies.
I wouldn't call that a major move, Tropical. I would call that a risk-averse maneuver.
Is it though? Is it? Because I mean, it may be popular in Japan, but it's not like super popular here, is it? So,
I feel
oh,
like without Kojima it's different, but Konami with Kojima, like they compete better in the console space. They don't really have like when you're competing in mobile, it's totally different players, and there's more of them, like way more of them. When it's on consoles, it's sort of an oligarchy. Not oligarchy. Well, kind of. A few big companies, and Konami is kind of one of those companies. No longer.
I guess. Well, no. I was gonna say that could be our middle segment next week. Because what's up with all the retreating from the console space by big publishers? At least the Japanese ones that want to get out before they end up like Sega and get bought by a pachinko company.
Sega.
Which I think also happened to wait, never mind. But yeah. I guess you can wrap up now.
All right, then we will do that. Disney Infinity. No,
yay!
E3 is approaching, so you'll definitely. Most of you will probably hear that one because that seems to happen. So that's exciting. If you want to know when exactly that will happen, check us out at aimlesspodcast.com. But probably more easily, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and subscribe to iTunes and YouTube and Twitch.
Okay, so any last words to say before we sign off, RPG?
No.
Alrighty then. So will the Destiny fun times continue?
No.
Will someone finish a game? Will
No.
there be an epic announcement of epic proportions before
No.
E3? Who knows? Find out next week on next episode of Aimless Babble Z Z Z Z
I answered all
Z.
the questions for them. So it's